our chapter number 1, rotational dynamics. First thing, what is dynamics? That we have to cover in introduction session. Dynamics is the branch of mechanics which deals with study of motion of object under the action of forces. What is circular motion? Motion along circumference of circle is circular motion. What is concept of center of mass? सेंटर ऑफ मास भी हमने पहले वाले स्टैंडर्ड में ऑलरेडी लर्न किया है. The point at which whole mass of body is supposed to be concentrated is called as center of mass. Kinematical equation. We already learned 3 kinematical equation related to translational motion in the previous standard. So here we have to learn kinematical equation related to translational motion as well as related to rotational motion also. Now see here, all the 3 equations are displayed. The first equation you can see, V is equal to U plus AT. In that, V is equal to final velocity, final linear velocity. U is initial linear velocity. Okay? A is linear acceleration. T is time. Okay? If you see the equation, kinematical equation related to rotational motion, in that this final linear velocity V is replaced by omega. So here omega is final angular velocity. This V, this U is replaced by omega 0. And you can see here this U is replaced by omega 0. It is initial angular velocity. A is replaced by alpha. A is linear acceleration and alpha is angular acceleration. T is a time. So here we learn the first kinematical equation. Now go for the second one. In second kinematical equation, S is equal to ut plus half at square. In this equation, S is equal to linear displacement. S is linear displacement. The linear displacement in rotational motion is replaced by angular displacement, which is theta. So we replace S by theta and other things you already know. And U by omega 0, A by alpha. So we get theta is equal to omega 0 t plus 1 by 2 alpha t square. This is second kinematical equation. Third kinematical equation. V square is equal to U square plus 2s. Replacing corresponding quantities, we can write the kinematical equation for rotational motion. Omega square is equal to omega 0 square plus 2 alpha theta. Now after this kinematical equation, the next one we have to learn real forces and pseudo forces. Basically, what is real forces? The force which arise due to actual interaction between two objects is the real force. For example, gravitational force. The gravitational force arises due to interaction between two objects, so it is a real force. Frictional force, electrostatic force, these are the examples of real forces. Similar manner, what are the pseudo forces? What are pseudo forces? Pseudo forces means opposite to that. Here, due to actual interaction. Okay? So they are not coming due to the actual interaction. They are coming because of acceleration of the frame of reference or due to change of the frame of reference. Pay attention. The pseudo forces are arises due to acceleration of frame of reference or due to change of the frame of reference, that you remember. Circular motion. So what is circular motion? Motion along circumference of circle is circular motion. Examples: motion of tip of blades of fan is a circular motion. Motion of merry-go-round is circular motion. Motion of satellite around the planet is circular motion. These are the examples of circular motion. Now let me learn some characteristics of circular motion. The first characteristic is it is accelerated motion. So why it is accelerated motion, that we have to learn. Now you remember one thing here, the direction of the velocity changes at every instant, so it is accelerated motion. Now let me consider one example here. Now if I consider a particle is following a circular motion. Now I divide this circular motion into four parts. The motion A to B, B to C, C to D. It is moving anti-clockwise. Or I consider the point A. At point A, the direction of the velocity is this. At point B, this is the direction of velocity in circular motion. At point C, this is the direction. At point D, this is the direction of the velocity. You know that velocity is along the tangent. So if you see these directions, direction at A, direction at B, direction at C, and direction at D, they are different. So we can say that direction of velocity changes at every instant. Therefore, it is accelerated motion. Now, second characteristic is it is periodic motion. What is periodic? Periodic means which is repeating itself after equal interval of time is called as periodic. Circular motion is a periodic motion because circular motion repeat itself after equal interval of time. That is a uniform circular motion. Okay? If you see the circular motion trajectory, the motion is repeated. So during motion, particle repeat its path. Particle repeat its path, or we can say that repeat its trajectory. So thus it is a periodic motion. So circular motion is periodic motion. Now let me learn kinematics of circular motion. What is kinematics of the circular motion? Some under these basic terms we have to learn, which help us while learning this motion. First one is the radius vector. Everybody know the radius means what. Now what is the radius vector? Now let us show radius vector in a diagram. See this diagram. In this diagram, if I consider this is a radius r, okay? Center to point on circumference is the radius. Now if I radius vector, so vector drawn from center to instantaneous position of the particle is called as radius vector. Now this is the radius vector. So that we can represent by r bar. R bar is the radius vector. Now you can see here, so OA is the radius vector when the particle is at A. When particle shift to new position B, OB is the radius vector. So this is the radius vector at time. Means radius vector is directed away from the center and it continuously changes its direction. After some time, the radius vector may be this OC may be the radius vector. So I hope you understood what is the radius vector. Now you remember some points about the radius vector. Magnitude of the radius vector is constant because magnitude is equal to the radius and it is constant. but the direction changes continuously. Direction of the radius vector changes continuously. And the direction, you know that away from the center of the circular path is the direction. Now after the radius vector, the next a quantity which we have to revise is the angular displacement. Basically, angular displacement may be represented by theta, d theta, delta theta. Okay. Now what is the angular displacement? You can see in a diagram. So this is the angular displacement. And we represent it by delta theta. Now it is what? It is the angle between these two radius vectors, OA and OB. Or we can say that when the radius vector is shifted from OA to new position OB, the angle traced by that radius vector is angular displacement. It is angular displacement. So we can say angle traced by radius vector in given time. This word is very important. In given time is called as angular displacement. Okay. By geometry we can write its formula. Angular displacement is given by this formula. Delta theta is equal to delta S by R. By geometry we get this formula. Now we can write its unit, dimension. Now you already learned 7 fundamental quantities and 2 supplementary quantities. In supplementary quantities you learn plane angle and solid angle. Angular displacement is a plane angle. If it is a plane angle, remember one thing, if it is a plane angle, then you know the unit of the plane angle. The same unit the angular displacement has. So the unit is radian. In short, we can write rad. Dimension, no dimension because supplementary quantities don't have dimension. So no dimension for the angular displacement. Or if you want to write it, L0, M0, T0 is the dimension. Now whether it is scalar or vector that we have to discuss. You remember here, smaller magnitude, for smaller magnitude, it is vector quantity. Means if angular displacement is infinitely small, then it is vector. And when it is finite, that time it is scalar. When it is finite, then it is scalar. Because when it is a finite, it does not obey commutative and associative law of vector addition. In simple, but you remember, finite angular displacement does not obey laws of vector. So it is a scalar. Now the direction. If I consider the smaller one is a vector, then what is the direction? You remember, it is directed along the axis. It is directed along the axis of rotation and perpendicular to the plane of circular motion. Perpendicular to the plane of circular motion. If I consider this is circular motion, then we can consider here this is axis. Then this angular displacement is directed along, it is directed along this axis. So this is the direction. If it is moving anti-clockwise, then upward direction. Clockwise, then downward by right hand rule. Okay. So I hope you understood this angular displacement article. Now after this angular displacement, the next one is angular velocity. Now what is angular velocity? You know that linear velocity. In previous standard, you already learned linear velocity. Now linear velocity, you can write the formula of linear velocity is equal to V is equal to dx by dt. X is the displacement. Okay, rate of change of displacement with time is the linear velocity. Similar manner, angular velocity we can write. Okay? The rate of change of angular displacement with respect to time. The rate of change of angular displacement with respect to time is called as angular velocity. And this is the formula. Omega is equal to d theta by dt is the formula. Okay? In this formula, theta is the angular displacement that you remember. We can write the unit. How we write the unit? Unit of theta divided by unit of t. Unit of theta is radian divided by unit of time is second. So radian per second is the unit. Dimension. So this theta don't have dimension, but t having a dimension. T is a time. Okay, so the dimension of the angular velocity we get t raised to minus 1 because here t is down. Okay, so dimension is t raised to minus 1. M0, L0, t raised to minus 1. Now we have to discuss whether it is scalar or vector. You remember it is a vector quantity. Angular velocity is a vector quantity. Okay, if it is a vector, then it has a direction. It has a magnitude and direction. Magnitude given by this formula. Okay, and direction. Direction. It is having a same direction as the angular displacement has. Means along axis. And it is given by right hand rule. So directed along axis and given by right hand rule. Means if the motion is anti-clockwise. Okay, if the motion is anti-clockwise, then it is directed upward direction. Theta, omega, they are directed upward. Okay, by right hand rule. If it is a clockwise, then directed down along the axis. Then you can see in a diagram also. Anti-clockwise is upward, clockwise downward. Now the next quantity is angular acceleration. Now what is angular acceleration? You know that linear acceleration. So we discussed linear acceleration A. Linear acceleration means dv by dt. Rate of change of linear velocity is the linear acceleration. Similar way, we can define this angular acceleration. Rate of change of angular velocity with respect to time is called as angular acceleration. So the formula is, so this is the formula. So d by dt means rate of change of omega is what? Angular velocity, and dt is the time. Rate of change of angular velocity with time is called as angular acceleration. Now unit for omega is rad per second divided by unit for time is second. So we get rad per second square is the unit for angular velocity. The dimension is, okay, dimension is t raised to minus 2 is the dimension because here second raised to 2 is coming. Okay, so dimension second means time. So time raised to minus 2 is the dimension. It is a vector quantity similar to the previous two. And if it is a vector, it is having a direction and it is directed along the axis and given by the right hand rule. The same to the angular velocity. Yeah? We already learned the angular velocity direction. In the same direction the angular acceleration has. Okay? I hope you understood these basic quantities. Now after that, linear velocity. You know that linear velocity is the rate of change of linear displacement is the linear velocity. Unit is meter per second. It is in meter per second. In circular motion, linear velocity directed along tangent. You remember it is directed along tangent. So it is also called as tangential velocity. So it is also called as tangential velocity, that you remember. Okay? Tangential velocity, then linear velocity, they are same here. Now next one, linear acceleration. linear acceleration. It is represented by A. So you can see the formula here. Linear acceleration given by this formula dv by dt. The rate of change of linear velocity with time is the linear acceleration. Okay. Unit you can write meter per second square is the unit for linear acceleration. So here we learn about the linear acceleration. Now the next one. And next basic quantity is period of revolution. Period of revolution. Now pay attention here. So everybody know that what is period. Okay. So period of revolution means time taken by particle performing UCM to complete one revolution. So it's a time taken by particle to complete one revolution is called as period. Okay. So you know that the velocity formula is distance by time. So time is distance by velocity. This formula you remember. So here the period is equal to, in one revolution, how much is the distance? 2 pi r. Okay. 2 pi r is the distance covered in one revolution divided by v. And time in one revolution is the period. So we get formula for period 2 pi r by v. So I hope you understood how we get this formula 2 pi r by v. Distance in one revolution, it is 2 pi r divided by v. Now the same formula, you know that here one you can remember v is equal to r omega. So v is r omega. If I substitute v is r omega, then r get cancelled, we get 2 pi by omega. So this is the formula for period of revolution. So period of revolution we can represent in second. Now we can take some example for the period of revolution. You remember here some example. Generally, you know that watch having 3 hands. Okay? 3 hands. Now in that 3 hands, so the longest hand means 3 hand, it has second hand, minute and hour hand. The shortest is hour hand. Okay? Then minute hand is longer than the hour hand, and then the one is the second hand. So 3 hands the watch has. Now let me discuss period of revolution of every hand. Now for hour hand, generally I am talking about 12-hour watch. So for hour hand, the time period is 12 hours. So when we are talking about hour hand, 12 hour is the time period, because when it complete one revolution, it take a 12-hour time. Then minute hand. Minute hand, when minute hand complete one revolution, it is 60 minutes, or we can write 1 hour. 60 minutes or 1 hour. When second hand complete one revolution, the time period is 60 seconds or 1 minute. So remember the period of revolution of every hand. Okay? Now another thing is period of revolution of Earth about its own axis. Period of revolution of Earth about own axis is 24 hours. About Sun, 365 days. Okay, period of revolution of Moon around the Earth. How much time Moon take to complete one revolution around the Earth? It takes 28.3 days. So 28.3 days is the period of revolution of Moon. Several examples we can discuss here, but that much is okay. Now here the next one is frequency of revolution. Next one is frequency of revolution. Now what is frequency? Number of revolutions performed per unit time, or number of revolution per second. is the frequency. Number of revolution performed per unit time by a particle performing uniform circular motion is called as frequency. In 1 second, if the particle completes circular motion 2 times, then 2 is the frequency. Okay, number of revolution per second is the frequency, and the frequency formula is reciprocal of period. So we already learned the formulas of period here. So we have to take the reciprocal here. We get the formula of frequency. Now one more thing here we can discuss. Generally used unit in this is revolution per second. You can see the unit revolution per second, RPS or RPM. RPS is the SI unit, okay? But you may see RPM, revolution per minute also. Maybe a frequency may be represented in minutes also, revolution per minute. Okay, this RPS or hertz is the S unit of frequency of revolution. Okay. Now the next one is types of the circular motion. Types of circular motion. Basically, based on speed, we classified the circular motion into 2 categories. The first category is a category with a constant speed, and it is called as uniform circular motion. It is abbreviated as UCM. What is UCM? Uniform means constant. I told you we are classified based on the speed. The speed is constant here. Circular motion with take a constant speed. Circular motion with constant speed is the uniform circular motion. So you can see the definition: the motion of particle along the circumference of circle with constant speed. You remember here in UCM. UCM means uniform circular motion. Speed constant. Speed is constant. But velocity is variable. Now how it is? Speed constant, but the velocity is variable. You remember one thing here. So basic difference between these two quantities, speed and velocity. You remember here, speed is scalar quantity. So here it is scalar. Speed is scalar. And if we talk about velocity, it is vector. You know that scalar depends only on magnitude, and vector depends on magnitude as well as direction. Now we already discussed in the previous article. So in circular motion, continuously particle changes its direction continuously. Okay? Means at this point the velocity is this. At this point velocity is this if it is moving anti-clockwise. So these are the directions. So direction is changing continuously. So velocity depends on magnitude and direction. And you know that velocity changes when either one changes, magnitude or direction. And you know that direction is continuously changing. So the velocity is variable here. Velocity is variable. But here we define constant speed means UCM. Means in UCM speed is constant. That you remember here. Now next one. If speed is constant, angular velocity omega is also constant. Angular velocity omega is constant. Then alpha is 0. How alpha is 0? You remember one thing here. So you can see the formula of alpha. Okay? Alpha is d omega by dt, or we can write omega 2 minus omega 1 by t. If omega is constant, means omega 2, omega 1 both are same. If they are same, subtraction is 0, and subtraction 0 means 0 divided by anything is 0. So we get alpha 0. You remember here, huh? In uniform circular motion, alpha is 0. The next one is tangential acceleration. So this is the tangential acceleration. The formula of the tangential acceleration which we covered in the 11th standard. So tangential acceleration is r alpha. So alpha is 0. You can see here alpha is 0. So tangential acceleration is 0. Examples: motion of tip of hands of a clock. Every hand moving with uniform circular motion. Second example is motion of earth around the sun is also example of uniform circular motion. Now after that, second type of the circular motion is non-uniform circular motion. Okay, second type is non-uniform. Non-uniform means speed is not uniform. Speed is not uniform. Okay. Now pay attention. Before that, let me cover some articles. Radial acceleration or centripetal acceleration. This article we already covered in 11th standard. We already covered it. Now what is this? What is radial or what is centripetal acceleration? The acceleration which is directed along radius. You remember? Huh? Directed along radius and towards the center is called as centripetal acceleration. Pay attention. The acceleration which is directed along the radius and towards the center is the radial acceleration. AR we can write. The magnitude of the radial acceleration is given by this formula. R omega square, V square by R, V omega. These are the expressions for radial acceleration or centripetal acceleration. It is also called as centripetal acceleration. In vector form, the same equation we can write. In vector form, we can write the equation like this. Radial acceleration means AR bar is equal to minus omega square R bar. The minus sign is missing here, but you remember radial acceleration having a formula minus omega square R bar. So this is the formula. Taken. Now I hope you understood this radial acceleration or the centripetal acceleration article. Now the second type of the circular motion that we have to cover, non-uniform circular motion. You remember one thing, uniform circular motion we covered. Just we covered uniform circular motion. You remember one thing here. In uniform circular motion, tangential acceleration is 0. But the particle having a radial acceleration. Just now we covered radial acceleration. And radial acceleration is given by formula r omega square v square by r or v omega. These are the expression for radial acceleration. Means in UCM, particle has a radial acceleration. Tangential acceleration is 0. That you have to remember. Now after that, next one we have to cover non-uniform circular motion. Now what is non-uniform circular motion? The motion of particle along the circumference of circle with variable speed is the non-uniform circle. Non-uniform means not constant, means variable. Second one, example you can write, motion of particle in vertical circular motion. When we tie a stone by a string and revolve in vertical circle, the speed varies. When stone is moving up, speed decreases. When it is moving down, then speed increases. So it is a vertical circular motion. Now next example is when fan is switched on and off. Means when we are continuously changing the gear of the fan, then speed changes. And it is a non-uniform circular motion. So you remember one thing here. Just I told you. In non-uniform circular motion, both radial and tangential acceleration is there. Both the accelerations are there. If both accelerations are there, then what is the formula of acceleration? What is the formula of acceleration? This is the formula. Acceleration is equal to tangential acceleration plus radial acceleration. So this is the formula in vector form. In magnitude, we can write it is under root tangential acceleration square plus radial acceleration square. This is expression for resultant acceleration in non-uniform circular motion. In today's lecture, we have to learn up to this only. The remaining chapter we have to continue in the next video. So I hope you understood everything. So this is the basic only. Go through everything again. Anything related to today's article, you can ask me in next lecture. Thank you. Thank you for watching this lecture.